Jeffrey locks his eyes onto Jessica. His palms begin to drip with sweat. There she is. She's alone. Now's my chance. Jeffrey awkwardly stumbles over to her. She sees him coming and she's already disgusted. Jessica. But Jessica doesn't want anything to do with him. He keeps staring at her titties. Come on, Jeffrey. Adonis enters his tribe's dining hall when the most beautiful woman catches his eye, Anastasia. He confidently strides towards her and introduces himself. He charms her with his words, and Anastasia can't help but draw closer to him. He's irresistible. Usually when I start these videos, I give you the Jeffrey and Adonis intro, then I take some time to think of a story where I have done the mistake, so I've been creepy. I've just sat here for like a minute, really just asking myself, okay, when have I been really, really creepy to a girl? And honestly, like, I can't really think of one. At least for me, like, I was way more reserved to never come across in a negative way to a girl. And so, you know, for example, if there was a girl that I was into, sure, you know, I might like stare at her, you know, a little bit and obsess over her, but I was never the guy who would be like spamming her phone when she didn't reply. Like, I was always a little bit too scared of coming across as too creepy, and so I was on like the underside of this. But I have seen other guys who have been far too creepy and they've followed like these 3 bad habits. And there's been so many times. So for example, when I used to go to nightclubs when I was about 18, 19, you know, I was just getting into like partying for the first time in my life. I would go about speaking to girls in more of like a cool way. Like I learned from this like cool black guy of like game and how to talk to girls. But there would be times when I would go out with female friends of mine and they would run over to our group saying, oh, this guy's being creepy, this guy won't leave me alone. Imagine this right now. Imagine you're in a party or a nightclub or something and a female friend of yours runs over and says, that guy's being creepy. I want you to visualize that guy. What does he look like? Who is that guy? If you visualize that guy who's being creepy right now, I can see him. He's podgy, like he's got like higher body fat. He's not fat, but he's got like probably 20% body fat. He's holding his drink, like his alcoholic drink up here, and he's already like drunk, like stumbling over the place, and come here, like he wants to like speak to some girl. He just has no social mannerisms. He probably stinks. He's unhygienic. He's got like, you know, alcohol. He's in the party environment. He's like dripped some fucking... This is an anti-spill bottle, but like he's dripped some alcohol all over his stomach and stuff, you know, all over his shirt, and he's still trying to like go and approach girls. Now, I mean, props for his confidence, I guess. But if girls are literally physically running away from him because he's being obnoxiously creepy, obnoxiously just weird and like too full on, you never want to be that guy. Not only because of the effect that you're having on the girl, that you're literally scaring her and she's running away, but also, I'm not the same guy anymore. But back then, when a guy would have this effect on like a girl that I actually liked, you know, we were just like friends or whatever, like it would piss me off to the point that I would actually like start on this guy and like I'd actually get aggressive towards him. If some guy like didn't get this social cue of like, okay, leave the girl, if she's physically running away from you, bro, and he's still stumbling over trying to speak to her, like trying to grab her and stuff. I've never hit a guy like that, but I've been very close. There's been multiple times like I was always like the guy who the girls would run to. And this isn't me trying to, oh, I'm so strong, because it's stupid as fuck. Like I could have easily been knocked out. I'm so surprised that I never once got sucker punched when I did this. But anytime I would see this happening and the girl would come and tell me like, oh, this guy's being creepy, he won't leave me alone, I'd go over to him and fully like fucking intimidating him, tell him like, turn around and walk the fuck away right now. It's not a nice situation to be in. Not only again because the girl's running away and it's gonna hurt your self-esteem to think that you're the fucking weirdo creep that's like literally repelled the girl away, but also because then she is gonna go and like tell other people, and you just don't want that. You do not want to be seen as the creepy guy. And so there's 3 bad habits that will make you seem really, really creepy. And unfortunately, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna slightly black pill you. And if you don't know what the black pill is, it's kind of like this belief that attractiveness is the only thing that matters when it comes to dating as a guy. I'm just gonna give you a brutal truth, which is gonna seem really negative for me to say this to you, but this bad habit that makes you really fucking creepy is that you pursue or you really want to have sex with her, but you're just not that attractive. You're not the kind of guy that is in her brain, her subconscious brain, that is past the eligibility line to have sex / date her. In the modern day, with these like really fucked dating standards that are happening right now, like this eligibility line in women's like brain, you know, they're not like autistically thinking, oh, this eligibility line, but like just imagine like their standards is here. Every couple of months, it keeps going higher and higher and higher. And I can, you know, do a full 50-minute video explaining this. Maybe that'd be interesting if you guys want me to like do a video explaining why exactly in really good detail why standards for women are going higher and why standards for men are going lower. But essentially her standards keep going higher, and now the issue is that if a guy who's below these standards, which are in her brain, tries to pursue having sex with her, he's going to be seen as repulsive, which essentially, this is like a black pill, because essentially this just means you need to be hot, you need to be attractive, you you cannot navigate this normal dating world now without being attractive. And I've never once told you that the opposite of this is true. I've never once told you that it's fine to be ugly. I've always said from the start that a part of our self-improvement journey should be improving our physical attractiveness. So many guys, you don't realize how much criticism I've faced because of this. So many guys have called me shallow for this. So many like little intellectual little nerds have called me like a bad person for telling young men that you should try to improve how you look, because that's seen as really shallow. That's seen as like, you know, so vain or something. And for so many years, bro, I was seen as the vain guy that was like narcissistic, that cared too much about how he looked. People said that was shallow, and yet it helped me to cultivate love in my life. Love and sex are literally fundamental needs for humans. And if right here, right now in this modern dating world, the thing that's gonna get you, you know, a girl who's interested in you, the thing that's gonna attract your future wife and the mother of your children is for you to just be a little bit more in shape, for you to just be a little bit more well-groomed and more handsome, is that really shallow? I don't think so. So the first bad habit that makes you really fucking creepy, which seems just so like horrible for me to say, is just you're not attractive. Because this is a brutal black pill. We can have two guys who do the exact same thing to a girl. So, you know, two guys text her the same things, two guys act in exactly the same way, but one guy's more attractive and the other guy's not. This guy is going to be seen as charming, and this guy's actually going to be seen as creepy, even though they did the same thing, simply because of the person that they are, and most likely because of how attractive they are. This is a brutal black pill, but it's something that we do need to accept, because I think it is like just the truth. And it's something that we need to just bring into our self-improvement journey to realize the more attractive that you become, physically attractive, but also, you know, like attractive in the social charismatic sense, and also the attractiveness that comes from having clout and having followers and having money, like, you know, just attractive in general. The more attractive that you actually become, the higher the barrier for you to seem creepy. Let's say you're a grotesque man. Let's say you're just literally a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 man. And I hate using this phrase like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, but like I think it, you know, it helps us understand what we're talking about. Let's say you're an absolute, like, just not attractive guy at all, you smell and everything, you're a 1 out of 10 guy. Well, your barrier to be seeming as creepy is going to be very low, isn't it? So a 1 out of 10 guy could literally just make eye contact towards a girl and she'd actually get a little bit repulsed. Let's say that 1 out of 10 guy, you know, he's really obese or something. Let's say he just loses all the weight and suddenly he's like in shape. He's not jacked or anything, he's in shape, and now he's like a 2.5 out of 10. So, you know, he's just went up a little bit. He's still not attractive, but, you know, a little bit. Well, the barrier for him being creepy is just slightly went a little bit higher. Let's say now he dedicates the next few years to discipline, builds up an aesthetic body, builds up like this physique that actually makes him look like a fucking fitness model. Maybe his face isn't attractive, but he's now literally shaped like a fucking Greek god. And now he takes like sexy pictures, you know, maybe he can hide his face a little bit, but he's like literally got 6-pack abs and everything. Now he's at like a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10. Him being creepy now, it's a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. If that guy now goes and gets clout and gets a level of fame, gets successful, gets a nice car, grooms himself, now he's a 5, a 5.5 and a 6. His barrier to being creepy is just increased. So if you're really scared of coming across as being creepy, this is like long-term advice, and I know it seems a little bit like sad and you know, negative that the world's like this, but how creepy you are is quite heavily correlated to simply just how attractive you are. Become more attractive and also become more confident, especially sexually with girls, and you'll be seen as less creepy. So understand and remember this: if you have low SMV, sexual market value, like the things that you bring to the table that are attractive, if you're not very attractive, if you're not very confident, especially when it comes to the sexual stuff, honestly, especially when it comes to like bringing her into the bedroom, if you're not very confident or experienced and you're also not attractive, it can really come across as creepy. The second bad habit that will make you seem creepy is not getting the subtle signs that she's not interested. Now, I just recently did a video which I'll link as a card right now so you can click on that, and I went over a bunch of signs that she doesn't like you, and a lot of guys don't actually pick up on these. You know, they're just not very clued up in like these social sexual mannerisms, and so they don't really get the message. And I think that phrase perfectly encapsulates it, and I want you to just ask yourself right here, right now, just for a few seconds, maybe pause the video and just ask yourself, do I get the message that she's not into me? Has there been a time when you've somewhat pursued a girl who seemed like she was into you, not really, and you know, you just really wanted to see, and you know, she wasn't like being very direct? The issue with me asking you this question is because the guys who are a little bit more experienced in this will be able to look back with humility and think, yeah, you know what, like there was a bunch of times when it was kind of clear that a girl wasn't into me, but I didn't really see the sign, and I was really like overly invested. I really wanted to get her, so I just didn't really pick up on the signs. The issue is, if you right here, right now need to hear this advice, it's probably likely that your brain won't accept this advice, that this is for you right here, right now, that you're probably not picking up on the signs that she doesn't like you, and that's what's making you come across as creepy. A lot of girls, and even guys, don't really have the confidence to reject someone in a very upfront, straightforward way. It's quite rare for a girl to straight up look at you, or you know, to text you and say, hey, sorry, I'm not interested in a relationship with you, or I don't want to have sex with you, wish you all the best, goodbye. It's very rare that a girl is that upfront with it, because most girls, and even most guys, do it in this like very slyly way where they'll just start like ghosting you, and it makes you like paranoid and you start thinking about them more, or maybe they start sending you like shorter messages, or maybe they tell you like, oh, they're too busy. Most people will just kind of string you along, mostly because they don't have the confidence to reject you in a very secure, upfront, healthy way, and also because they kind of are slightly fucked in the head and they kind of like the extra, the game of you chasing them. Most people like that, even if they're not interested in you. It just gives them a feeling of importance and makes them feel good about themselves. And I'm bad for this myself. I've done this many times as well. Which means that guys often are not getting a very clear upfront rejection. They're getting more of like a semi-small rejection, which most guys aren't picking up of, because most guys are simply too needy and too desperate and too clingy to realize it. Now, this is something that I really improved on as I got a little bit older. I have this attitude that if it isn't extremely clear that this girl likes me, then I just take that as a no. For me personally, if I'm considering like, dating a girl or something, I want to feel like in her mind, it's like absolutely like, fuck yes, Hamza's amazing. That's like the standard that I have. If she doesn't feel that way and it's not so clear that she's into me, then I'm not gonna like chase after some girl who's like, some vaguey, oh yeah, she might be into me, she might not. Because once you have like a level of respect for yourself, you start to increase the standards of like which you want your partners to be able to show affection and attraction towards you. Chances are right now, you might not be at that level of, security and abundance. And so any attention that a girl gives you and, she replies back to your text messages kind of feels like, oh, well, she kind of likes me. She must like me. No. Hamza's not talking about me here. He must be talking about someone else. I'm talking about you, bro. I'm talking about you and the girl that you're into, and you just don't realize that she's already rejected you because she gives like this subtle rejection. You need to have this kind of personality going forward where if a girl isn't very clearly into you, you just kind of take that as a rejection as it is, but not like a bad one, not where, you're getting pissed off or something, but just like if she's not very forward with the fact that she likes you, or at least she's interested in pursuing something, then you just kind of take that as like, okay, whatever, boom. So many guys get the smallest little bait, bro, like, the carrot on a stick analogy. It's like girls are just dangling like not even the whole carrot, bro, like a tiny fucking little, like the fucking stem of a carrot. Girls are just dangling like a fucking carrot, and a bunch of desperate guys are still trying to get it because that's the most carrot that they've ever been able to get it so far. No. Go for the full carrot, bro. You deserve the fucking full. Well, you know what? I was gonna give you like this little false hype, so maybe you'll like me more, and maybe you'd appreciate my videos, and you'd feel good about this video. So hopefully you click on my videos more after this, bro. I'm not gonna falsely hype you up. I was gonna say like you deserve the full carrot, bro. Chances are you probably don't. I'm sorry to be fucking horrible, but chances are you probably don't deserve the fucking full carrot. You probably don't deserve her like full attention and admiration just yet. I don't want to be an asshole, but sometimes you need someone to just look at you like almost like this older brother figure and just look at you and say, bro, you're not that great. You're not that attractive. You're not that confident. You don't bring that much to the table. If she got in a relationship with you, you wouldn't even improve her life in any way. Now, you think you would. You think it'd be awesome dating you. The thing is, like, you're not that great as a man. It takes some time to build up. And sure, some little TikTok boy with the perfect hair and little six-pack, sure, he might be able to get more girls than you because he's young and attractive right now. But for most men, we don't have amazing genetics. For most men, it comes from how we build ourselves. The best things you can build is your physique, because that leads to so many better benefits. And then also your success, because if you build your physique and your success, so by success, I mean like, work success, business success, grades. These two things give you an astronomical amount of confidence. They actually make you feel good about yourself, and then your standards for the people who come into your life increase. The fact that you're watching this video right now and you're hooked onto my words, and that analogy of like, she's just baiting the fucking stem of the carrot actually meant something to you, means that you're not ready yet. You don't deserve the full carrot. You don't deserve her attraction yet. Now, you can get sad about this. You can get upset. You can get nihilistic and depressed, and you can go over to some black pill videos if you want. Or you can, get pissed off at women and get angry and get bitter. Or you can get better. You can think to yourself right now, without any level of hatred, and think, you know what? As much as it is kind of, sad and frustrating to not really attract any girls, the thing is, like, I can't really blame them, because of course they're gonna choose the guy that they really want. They're gonna choose the guy who's the best. And I'm not the best yet. I haven't built myself up to that point. The single greatest thing you can do, which it is hard, it takes some time, but like get into the top 10% of men in your area, the top 10%. Now, obviously this depends on the city you live in, how old you are and everything, but relatively, if you're lean and you have a pretty good body, and you're also a little bit more successful than every other guy around you, and you also don't do a bunch of like the really bad habits, like, watching porn and jacking off every day, you're probably going to be in the top 10%. Now, chances are you're probably not even there just yet. To get into the top 10% of men only takes 2 years. Like, it took me 2 years. Honestly, it takes 2 years, and that's if, like, I was already, you know, like 23, so 23 to 25, right? If you're younger than me, if you're 16, 17, 18, bro, for you to be better than the guys around you, go to the gym really hard and discipline yourself for 6 months. Stop eating all this shit fucking Western food that's fucking up your brain and your diet and your body fat percentage. Start pursuing a business, start learning how to make more money. As soon as you're making like $1,000 a month, bro, you're like, if you're 18 years old and you're making it online from like a nice little business that you've built, bro, you're in the top 10%. Take some good shirtless pictures. You'll be getting girls on Tinder, on Instagram, or even in real life when you're walking around and, you know, your fit is looking like nice, snug shirt on your biceps. Boom. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you, and I need you right here, right now, to listen to my words carefully. If you want to keep subscribed to my channel, this is not the place that you come to feel good about yourself with this false hype that you'll see from like school and every other fucking YouTube channel that you'll see out there. Because I care about you, I will criticize you. It's in the masculine way of men to criticize each other's weaknesses and to point them out so that we can improve. If that hurts your feelings, good. I'm sorry that you're so sensitive. That's another thing that we need to work on. You can stick around if you want right here, right now, and just hold your hand up and say, you know what? I will keep coming to Hamza's videos because he actually criticizes my weaknesses. And that's something that I need, even though it offends me and pisses me off slightly. And if you don't want to do that, then you can go find another fucking, I don't even know, you can go back to school and listen to the like, oh yeah, participation trophies and we're all amazing. Like, how's that been for you, bro? You need to hear sometimes that, yeah, you're not that great. You're really not that great. You need to get exposed to someone who's 50 times more successful to you. I don't want to be a dick. I really don't want to be a dick, okay? This is, what I'm about to say is going to sound really bad, but bro, your monthly income, I make it whilst I sleep. And I don't say this to like big me up. I say this in a really weird way to slightly put you down a little bit, to expose you to a level of success that you haven't seen. The amount of matches that you get per month on Tinder, I get in the first 2 hours after creating an account. And I'm not even that amazing. There's guys who are above me who literally, like, you know, my monthly income or something they make overnight. You can see there's fucking like levels to this shit. You need to be exposed. This is the issue with, like, you know, me kind of telling you about my success, to show it relative to yours, so you can think, oh fuck, that guy's so much more successful than me, so I want to be more like that. All of the weak people are gonna get offended of this. You know, the guys who wear like clean shirts and they'll be watching this thinking, oh, that's not very intellectual. You should have humility. Like, humility is a fucking awesome thing, but people confuse it, bro. Humility and humbleness are not the same thing. I am not a humble man. I don't think being humble is a good thing. I don't think being humble is a masculine trait. Being humble is you just downplaying your real objective success of the world. Humility is an awesome thing. Humility is just having this mindset of knowing that there's a lot more progress you can make to stay a student, to keep learning. Have lots of humility. Sometimes you need a little slap in the face to just tell you, bro, like, there's so much more that you need to improve on. If you're struggling with girls right now, it's not because of any fucking circumstances that you want to say. It's not because you live in India and it's just like this here. It's not because of this like random fucking circumstance or whatever like trait you want to bring it down to. It's simply that you haven't worked hard enough in two main things: your physique and your success. Build them two, and also, you know, with that comes confidence, and that's an important thing to build up. But build them two, and you'll be doing just fine. So the fact that you're watching this video shows me that you haven't done them two. And now the third habit that's making you creepy is just staring. And this is particularly true if you stare at her body. Now, I think if you hold her eye contact, I don't really think that's staring. Like, it could be, you know, if you just look at her. This is how brown guys look at me when I walk past them, like, no smile, no nothing. And then when I get, like, sometimes I'll remember, okay, let me smile, I'll smile, and then they'll go like this, then they'll get all happy, like stuff like, some guys will literally just fucking stare. The thing is, if you're just holding her eye contact, that's a good thing. But staring, looking too much at her body, that is when it gets creepy, and that's when, like, your attraction lowers. And again, this is so interesting because a Chad, a really attractive guy, can stare at a woman's body and it can be really sexual. If you imagine, like, this Chad in, like, the club right now, he sees some girl that he's attracted to, he'll eye fuck her body, bro. This is what I used to do to, like, attract girls in clubs. If there was a girl that I liked and she was dressed in, like, you know, in a dress or something, you literally make it known that you're, like, looking up and down, and that can seem as creepy for, like, you know, some unattractive guy. But if you're the guy who she's attracted to, and you do that and you give like a certain little look where you're showing, oh yeah, she's hot, that honestly melts some girls. I don't think this video is that good because honestly, in the end, all it just matters is just how attractive you are. The barrier to the actions that you do being perceived as creepy is just linear to how much more self-improvement you've done, and also just how much of like a Chad that you become. And you don't have to become the ultimate total Chad. You don't have to become like this 10 out of 10 guy. But as you improve your looks, as you build your body, as you get more like successful, more confident, as you get better at like grooming yourself through all the other things that I've talked about. I've done like a full looks maxing guide as well that I'll have linked as a card. So I've done like a full 40-minute video on like how to improve your looks. The more you improve your looks, the more things you can do which are actually seen as attractive instead of creepy. And throughout this video, I've mentioned the importance of building your aesthetic physique. If you want to get the workout routines that will build the most sexy, attractive physique, they're linked in the description too. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!